So let's sit up tall. As soon as we do that, I like to lift my heart. As I lift my heart, I can feel my spine come into that perfect alignment. You can feel the lower S curve where your lumbar spine curves in towards the center of the body, then back out again for the space for the heart and lungs. Then the spine curves back in again at the cervical spine. So when we lift our heart, we feel that alignment shift into place. The back of my head is over my lumbar spine. My chin automatically dips just a bit for that Jalandhara Bandha, the energy lock at the throat. Sitting in Gyan Mudra, thumb, index finger touch, the mudra of receptivity, wisdom, and knowledge. I think of it as connected to my third eye, my sixth chakra, the seat of intuition, my internal guidance system. I want it on, operating, and communicating with me at all times. Assisting me to know my life purpose, assisting me in knowing what's really important, assisting me in knowing what's ego chatter and what's really intuitive prompt. An intuitive prompt will feel different than chatter from the ego. We need our ego, but not necessarily to guide our life purpose and our deeper intentions. Let's review the 5 elements. Breath work. All the breath happens through the nose, inhale and exhales. I'm conscious of my emotion throughout my practice. How is it shifting, flowing? How does it feel to be in my body this Saturday morning, or whatever morning it is, or afternoon or evening when you might be listening to this Kriya online? Sounds, whatever sounds are in your space, and some of you are in shared spaces, then make it part of your practice. It's just the soundscape of your life at this given moment. And finally, our thoughts. We're here to observe our thoughts, the nature of our thoughts, whether some thoughts are more dominant than others, meaning they repeat themselves. A college-educated person has about a 40,000 word vocabulary, more with advanced degrees, obviously. I sometimes wonder how many different thoughts I may have. Sometimes I think I have a lot of the same thoughts over and over and over. Let's bring our hands to prayer position for our tune-in. The Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I'm honoring that creative force that exists in the universe, whatever that might mean to you, and I'm honoring it within myself. I'm also sensing it in each of you and connecting with you through the Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. So 3 times. 3 inhale, exhales through the nose, out through the nose. To begin with, inhale. 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 Adi Mantra. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. So open the eyes. We'll do a short warm up before the Kriya begins. Let's take the legs just straight out in front of us. They're together. I'm flexing the feet back towards my body. I'm rubbing my hands down my thighs, across my knees, down my shins to the ankle, back up. Just massage your legs all the way from the groins, down the thighs, across the kneecaps, down the shins, to the ankles, massaging with some force. So nice to have a tactile sense of our own bodies. I'm inhaling, exhaling as I'm going down because I'm contracting the belly. Trying to get my head closer and closer to my knees. And then this last time down, try to reach down and grab your toes with your peace sign fingers. My thumb are in the nail bed of my big toes. My arms are extended, maybe my feet, maybe my legs are on the mat or the knees may be bent. You're just breathing into this. Can you feel it in the lower lumbar spine? Can you feel the kidneys, the adrenals stretching? The lumbar spine stretching, thoracic spine stretching behind the heart and lungs. Maybe you're getting your head closer and closer to your knees. Keep breathing deeply. I feel that stretch. I feel my lower spine really opening up. We need that for this Kriya, for all the leg work. When we strengthen the core, we strengthen the lower lumbar spine. It's like an insurance policy. So when you bend down and pick up something improperly and twist or turn, that's when we tend to create havoc with the lower lumbar spine. So the stronger it is through the core, the less likely you'll injure yourself. Sit back up. Draw the hands back across the shins, the knees, the thighs. Just set them beside you so you're sitting in your Dandasana staff pose. My palms are flat on the mat beside my hips. My feet are flexed. I'm sitting up tall. I'm pushing down on my arms now. I feel the triceps, biceps engage, the pectorals across the chest. I'm even lifting my buttocks off the mat just a bit. Everything starts to quiver in the arms, the chest. I'm holding my buttocks just off the mat, depending on the inseam of your arms. If your arms are shorter, you might need to make a fist so you can actually lift your buttocks off. Continue to breathe. Let it back down. Draw the soles of the feet together. Bring them in for your Baddha Konasana. Great hip opener. We can do this lying down or sitting up. Really sitting up tall. I'm in Venus Mudra with my fingers wrapped around my toes. My thumbs are touching. Close your eyes so you begin to go within. You can also shut the eyes down to 1/10. So they're just a slit and you're looking down the end of your nose and you'll see just the top of your mat. Let's move into a life nerve stretch. We take the legs as wide as we can. Again, pushing down with your hands, making contact with your knees, shins. Maybe you can reach your toes, or you'll grab onto your shin or your ankle. Inhaling, I'm trying to sit up with a long flat back. Exhale, I'm trying to bring the forehead towards the mat. Still thinking of a long flat back rather than rounding the spine like the cat pose at Halloween. It's more flat. Can you feel the fascia releasing around the hamstrings, the calves, even in the lower back? Inhale up, exhale down. Just keep breathing into it, letting all the fascia release. Slide the hands back up towards the knees. Let's do some rounds with the feet. The right foot and ankle are clockwise. The left foot is counterclockwise. So massaging, creating flexibility in the ankles. Now slide the hands behind you. My fingers are pointing away from my body towards the back wall. My legs are spread wide. I'm sliding these hands back and I'm opening up my chest. I'm looking up to the ceiling, if that's okay on your neck. Opening up the heart, opening up the throat chakra. It's very vulnerable, exposed. This windpipe is a very vulnerable part of the body. So we naturally protect it. Keep breathing into it. One more, slide the soles of the feet into the body for this Baddha Konasana again. Interlace the fingers in Venus Mudra. They're wrapped around my feet. I love that sense of all 10 toe digits and all 10 finger digits in connection here. These 10 digits, 20 digits that allow us to balance, pick up things. So I think we are ready to begin the Kriya. I think our back is warmed up. So we lie onto our backs. The first few exercises will be on the back. So this first one, it's a piston movement with the feet. My head is on the mat. My palms are flat. So my palms are flat down by my hips. I raise the legs, I point the toes, and I begin the kick, the piston. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. all the breath through the nose. One leg pushes out, I'm breathing in. The other leg pushes out, I'm breathing out. And the more I push down on my palms, the easier it is. We're almost to 1 minute. Good job. And take your legs down and relax. Rest. Rest for 30 seconds. We'll do it again for another minute. You're building heat. Pushing down with the palms. Let's go for another minute. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Twenty-five more seconds. You can do it. And take the legs down. Relax for 30 seconds. Slide the forearms under the buttocks. Palms are still flat on the mat. They're kind of underneath your hamstrings. Now for 1 minute, we begin raising both legs up to 12 o'clock. Beginning in just a few more seconds, pushing down into the palms. Beginning now, inhale up, exhale down. Yes, point the toes. You're pushing down into the hands, protects the lower lumbar spine. And take it down. Good job. Just rest for a moment. Let the breath equalize. A lot of core work. Then come onto your stomach. We're in a cobra pose. So you can start with your forehead on the mat. For the right alignment, your widespread finger palms are right under your shoulders. Your feet are together. You can stay in a low cobra or it's taught into a high cobra. So I'm coming up, my knees are still on the mat. The tricky part is the breath. We inhale, exhale, kick. Inhale, kick with the other leg. So my inhale, kick, exhale, inhale, kick, exhale. So it's awkward more than difficult. Alternating legs. The heel comes towards the buttocks on the exhale. So just time it so you're exhaling as you're kicking. You're really stretching out the core. Again, it's awkward more than anything. and stop. Come down onto your core for a bow pose. Now, bow pose is a harder pose in yoga. The forehead is back on the mat. You might need a strap or a belt to grab the tops of your feet, but I'm grabbing the tops of my feet. Then I try to get a little bit of a roll. Inhale up, exhale down. I'm lifting my chin up on the inhale. I'm bringing it back on the exhale. You might only get a half an inch of movement. That's enough. The more you do it, the more movement will come. I'm just going to observe everyone. Yes, Nicole, perfect. Rodney, terrific. Pablo, Maria, Margaret, yes. Wanyu, Susan, Kurt, yes, good. Just keep going with the breath. You're almost there at 1 minute. I know this is a challenge. You're stretching out your core. You're stretching out in such a way only could happen in bow pose. Well, you're almost there. 5 more seconds. And you're there. Now you can just sit back on your heels because you're going to come into a closed knee child's pose. So I can't get my forehead to the mat. So I come down with my forehead to my blankets. You could bring it down to a block or a bolster. It can just hang in the air too, but it's more comfortable to have the third eye resting on something. And you're just going to grab your heels. So it's a very tight child's pose for another 90 seconds. Yes. Sometimes it can feel a little claustrophobic, but just breathe through it. Long, deep breathing. You're focusing on your 6th chakra, your third eye. You're putting pressure right on that source. It's your guidance system. It's your protection system. You've heard me say many times that animals have fangs and claws. Human beings have their third eye. Their intuitive force in nature to protect them and guide them. Animals certainly have it too. I think ours is just more developed. Almost there. And we're there. Just come out of the tight child's pose onto your backs for spinal rolls. You all know how to do these. We bring the knees to the forehead to the knees. And then for 90 seconds, we begin to roll with mindfulness, with control. So I'm very conscious of my feet coming to the mat, the back of my head coming onto the mat, and then really feeling all 3 sections of the spine. I'm feeling the buttocks, tailbone, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine. You're really massaging. I'm going to observe. Yes, very good. Mowgli, Nicole's dog, keeps circling her. He doesn't know what she's up to. I know it gets a little monotonous, just 20 more seconds. Your spine is thanking you. And relax. Come into full back. Your arms are at your side. Your back of your head is on your mat. What we're moving into is a stretch pose. So, going to hold this. We're going to try to do this for 2 minutes with breath of fire. So, when I give you the cue, you'll lift up the head 6 inches, the feet 6 inches. You'll look at your feet. Your palms will come up facing each other, fingers together, palms just above the hips. And we begin with breath of fire. Let's begin now. You're looking at your feet, your toes are pointed, the palms are just above the thighs, fingers together, they're about a foot apart. The breath of fire actually makes it a little easier. Good job, you're staying with it. 20 more seconds. And release. Just take the hands down. Rest for a few moments. Come around onto your knees. So the knees are tight. We're back in child's pose. I'm going to bring the forehead to the mat. We're going to do the yoga mudra in honor of Susan Calendra's birthday. The pose I sometimes call the Susan Calendra. So the forehead comes to the mat. We interlace the fingers and I just draw them up to 12 o'clock. Yoga mudra. Yes, Nicole, that's it. Rodney, your shoulders are releasing. Maria, Pablo, Kurt, Susan, terrific. Margaret, Janet, I can see it. The more you just breathe deeply here, the more the shoulders can release. And slowly take the arms down. One last pose that's pretty challenging, and then we're at the top of the mountain. Come back into your cobra pose. My feet are together like the tail of the snake. My arms come out in front of me, and I'm in Venus Mudra. My forehead is down on the mat. The challenging part of this pose is we're going to lift feet and hands while we do breath of fire. Let's try for 30 seconds. You can also just try with just the feet lifted or just the arms lifted and then move to both. So let's begin. Beautiful, Nicole. One you, good. Just try, you can try, you don't have to go up and down one you can just breathe with them up, just holding them up. And release, relax. Let yourself breathe for a few moments. Then I'm going to have you for 15 seconds just raise the legs and breathe. Then we'll do 15 seconds just raising the arms. Then we'll try one more time raising both. So let's begin. The fingers are interlaced in Venus Mudra. So let's inhale and begin breath of fire with just lifting the legs. And take it down. Center yourself for a few moments. And now let's just lift the arms for 15 seconds. Breath of fire. And release. Last time, maybe you can lift both legs and arms. Maybe the elbows need to stay on the mat and you can just lift the forearms and hands. Let's begin. And relax. Just take the left cheek to the mat. Letting the neck stretch out a bit. Your arms can come to your side, palms to the ceiling. Yes, give yourself a little rest. So on you, you're just sitting on your stomach. You're just lying down. And the left cheek is to the mat. Let's take alternate cheek now. Just stretching out the neck a bit as you're lying there. So now curl the toes under. Take the hands under the shoulders, come up into a plank pose. So you're just at the top of a push-up, building some heat here. The core is all warmed up. Good position of the buttocks. You're all in a nice line. We don't want the butt sticking up into the air. We want it in line with the spine. Then push back to your downward facing dog. Begin to walk out the dog. Left heel to the mat, right heel to the mat. Try to get both heels to the mat. Eventually the fascia releases, the hamstrings, the calves release, and both heels will come towards the mat. Slowly walk the hands back to the feet. You'll be in your deep forward fold. Your feet will be about hip width distance apart. Nice inversion. First real inversion of the day. Giving the heart a rest. Let the blood flow reverse. Just hang. You might even do a few neck rounds while the neck's hanging so gently. A few neck rounds clockwise. Then a few neck rounds counterclockwise. I love inversions. When I come out of the inversion is sometimes when I get those nanoseconds of bliss, when the body, mind, spirit integrate. So tuck the chin to the chest and slowly make your way up vertebrae by vertebrae, conscious of the lower lumbar spine, conscious of the thoracic spine, the cervical spine. Head is the last thing to come up. Standing in your Tadasana, big toes touch, heels slightly separated. Close your eyes, turn it into a balanced pose. The feet are very close together. All 10 toes are gripping the mat. If they're not, lift up the 8 toes. Set them back down with space between each toe. Lift the heart. As you lift the heart, you feel the spine come into that beautiful alignment. Now step outside of your body. You're now looking at yourself from behind. We can imagine ourselves from the front because we look in the mirror. We see ourselves often, but we don't see our backside. So you're standing outside of your body now, you're looking at your backside. As you lift your heart, you see that S curve in the lower lumbar coming behind the heart and lungs now. Spine comes back out, then back in again at the cervical spine, at the neck. Imagine all 7 chakras as you stand here. The root chakra at the anus, 2nd chakra at the genitals, 3rd chakra right below the navel. These energy points are in the middle of the body. They all connect. 4th chakra at the heart, 5th chakra at the throat, 6th chakra right at the pituitary gland. One reason in Kundalini Yoga we work with the pituitary, the 3rd eye. 7th chakra at the crown, and 8th chakra surrounds the body, your energy field. So now we're going to pump some fluid. We're going to pump the endocrine system. So take the feet about hip-width distance apart. Oh, but first we're going to do, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. First, big toes touch, heels separated. We're going to do these wonderful side bends. It's great for Rodney's golf game. So my hands are right at my side. My inhale, I just slide that left hand down to my knee. The exhale, I slide the right hand down. Inhaling left, exhaling right. It's a fluid movement for 2 minutes. Close the eyes. You can turn it into a balancing pose. All the breath through the nose. Inhaling as my hand comes down the left side, exhaling as it goes down the right side. One more minute. Wonderful side bends. Working on the oblique muscles. Be conscious of your hands making contact with your body. Maybe that middle finger is coming a little bit farther down the side legs as you release more. And come to stop. Just keep the eyes closed, re-energize. Connect body, mind, spirit. Another great stretch. You can open your eyes to watch. The right hand comes to my heart. My left hand comes to a T. I'm inhaling as I'm swinging around to the back. Exhaling, I'm coming around to the right. The left hand comes back to my heart. I'm swinging each side. Inhaling left, exhaling right. I'll just observe you. Yes, nice pace, full inhale, full exhale, 2 minutes. Also a great exercise for golf or tennis because you're twisting and warming up the rotating part of the spine. As you do this, maybe you see the complete back wall of your room as your spine opens up. Maybe you feel your beating heart as the right hand comes and touches the heart. If you keep closing the eyes, you also can work some balance into it, making it a little bit harder. And come back to center. Just stand in your Tadasana, so the hands are at your side, palms forward, big toes touch, heels slightly separated. Lift the heart. As you lift the heart, the chin dips just a bit. You feel the lower lumbar spine come in towards the midline. Shoulders are relaxed and down, face is relaxed, no gripping. And now let's work the endocrine system. So the feet are about hip-width distance apart. What's unusual about this pose, we connect the thumbs. The fingers are together, but I connect the thumbs in the mudra. So I'm bringing the arms up over my head on the inhale. Then when I'm at the inhale, I lean back. And if you're not on your moon or menstrual cycle, then hold the breath for 10 seconds or a count of 1001, 1002 through 10. That's your holding it. And then the exhale, I'm bending the knees, trying to get the palms all the way to the mat. Inhale coming up, creating my baby back bend. So I'm leaning back. I'm holding to a count of 10. Holding the breath. Exhale coming forward. Trying to get the palms all the way to the mat. I have to bend my knees to do so. We're just going to do this for a couple of minutes here. I'm going to drop down to observe. Great job, everyone. You're pumping endocrine fluid from the groins, from the armpits. As you know, that lymph fluid doesn't pump on its own. We have to pump it. The motion is the lotion. Healthy aging means we can touch the floor with our hands. We can get up and down off the floor easily. As we age, if people don't keep moving, they lose that ability to get up and down off the floor, to take their hands to the floor. I forgot to do the 10-second hold at the top. So try to add that 10-second hold at the very top. Let's do one more round. Come back up. Just stand in your Tadasana to center yourself. One last floor exercise before we move into the breath work. So come down onto your back. This time I put my fingers in Venus Mudra underneath my head or my hairline. So it's right. My fingers are interconnected, thumbs are touching. Then I do an alternating leg lift. So inhale, come up, I'm pointing the toe, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down with the alternate leg. You've got it. 2 minutes. All the breath is through the nose. Beautiful form. Your core is all warmed up. If there is any discomfort in the lower spine, however, then take your hands to your side and push down with the palms. Because now you're being asked to do this without any assistance. I feel the small of my back come down onto the mat every time the leg comes up. A few more seconds. Get an opportunity, if you keep your eyes open, to really study your ceiling. And release. Make your way up to Hero's Pose, Thunderbolt Pose, Vajrasana. If that's hard for you, just sit in easy pose. So you come into your Thunderbolt. I have a blanket between my heels and my buttocks. You can always try that with a pillow. My mudra, my hands are in Venus Mudra, then they're just resting in my palm, in my lap. It's 5 minutes. Of a meditation. So eyes are closed, lifting the heart. I'm inhaling mentally Sat, exhaling Nam, Sat Nam, our greeting. My truth is my identity. My authentic self is who I really am, beyond the personality. You might move into a Ujjayi breath where you constrict the back of the throat. Helps quiet the mind so the mind has something to do, concentrating, hearing the breath. And you're asking the mind to inhale, think Sat. Exhale, think Nam. We're halfway there. Use this time to quiet the mind. Listening to your breath. Mentally thinking Sat on the inhale. Thinking Nam on the exhale. No gripping. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face, the jaw, the tongue. Pelvic floor is relaxed. One more minute. Practice calming yourself. This mindful technique is available to you anytime, anywhere, any place. You're calming your heartbeat, lowering blood pressure. You're conscious of each respiration, each inhale, each exhale. Open the eyes. Good job. 5 minutes. We move right into Sat Kriya. Remember Sat Kriya. The inhale, I'm still using Sat Nam, but I'm going Sat, drawing the belly in, Nam, letting the belly relax and get fat. Sat Nam. So practice that with me. Just go Sat Nam, Sat Nam. At first you think you can't speak and say it, but you can. So I'm inhaling and saying Sat. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. So we'll do this for 2 minutes. The mudra, hands are just in prayer position. Up at my ears, if you can get them close to your ears. For 2 minutes, we begin the Kriya. Actually say Sat and Nam. Sat 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 Nam. Inhale, Sat. Big inhale, hold the breath, squeeze the bandhas, anus, sex organs, pull navel towards spine, holding your breath, squeezing all the bandhas, clenching the energy fields for a few moments, and release. Float the arms down, just rest the palms, the top of the knees, recenter yourself. Connecting body, mind, spirit. Opening up to the messages from the third eye, from your intuition. Hearing the prompts. Remembering your dreams. Being conscious of all messages that are given to you for your higher purpose, for your perfect alignment in your life, for your health, for your well-being, for your higher purpose. Two more exercises in the Kriya. We come onto our hips. This one I think of purpose, life purpose when I'm doing it. You can sit just flat on your buttocks or maybe on a little blanket to raise the pelvis if that feels better. My feet are relaxed. And my hands are just out in front of me, palms down, parallel to the mat. My fingers are together. And then for 2 minutes, breath of fire. I'm lifting my heart. My gaze is straight ahead. Imagine that you're aligning with your life purpose. How can I serve others? How can my life benefit others, even in the smallest of ways? Moments of kindness. moments of patience, moments of forgiveness, connecting to my higher wisdom. Easy and gentle breath of fire. Forced exhale through the nose. Inhale comes automatically back through the nose. Inhale and hold the breath. Squeeze the bandhas. Squeeze first chakra, second, third. Pull the navel towards the spine. That pelvic floor is squeezing, holding your breath, and release. We move right into an easy pose for the final breathing exercise, which is a mantra. I will bring the mantra up on the screen here. There it is. Ek Onkar Satanam Siri Wahe Guru. So the translation is there. One creator, one creation, my truth, my name, my identity. I'm one with my higher self. This divine wisdom is beyond description. And Guru, the translation is not there, but it's from darkness to light. I urge you to sing along with the chant. The mudra, the hands are together in palms together. Then my arms are up by my ears. And try to just sing along with the chant. Satanam Siriwa He Guru Ek Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru Ek Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru Ek Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru. 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 Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru. Ek Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru. Ek Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru. Ek Onkar Satanam Siriwa He Guru. Float the hands down. Gyan Mudra. Thumb, index finger touch. Palms open to the ceiling. Just continue singing with the chant in this easier pose here. Ekungha Satanam Siri Guru. 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 Few more moments just sitting, connecting, unifying body, mind, spirit. Now move into your Shavasana, a 7-minute Shavasana today. Most important pose of the day. Letting everything go. I'm going to read from Mark Nepo's Book of Awakening, a thought for the day. Out from under all the darkness, I'm going to walk into the light. Job. Sometimes there's just too much to consider, too much to understand and analyze. Too many consequences to play out in our mind. Too many things to clean, unpack, or repair before we can go out and play. Sometimes the simplest and best use of our day is to drop it all and just walk out from under everything that is covering us, even if only for an hour or so. Just walk out from under the webs we've spun, the tasks we've assumed, the problems we have to solve. They'll be there when we get back. And maybe some of them will fall apart without our worry to hold them up. Wouldn't that be nice? Just rest quietly and try to stop working your problems. With each breath, put a concern down and feel your being intact without it. Breathe freely and realize that your being is whole, whether you solve your problems or not. I am enough just as I am. There's nothing I need to do or change in this moment. I am enough just as I am. I'll ring the bell and I'll bring you back with the bell. Begin to breathe together through the nose. Big inhale. Open the mouth. Ah, exhale with an audible sigh. Inhale. Ah. One more. Inhale. Ah. Interlace the fingers. In Venus Mudra, take them over the head. Point the Jupiter finger, the index finger. Point the toes. Feel all 34 vertebrae. Feel it from the coccyx, the base of your spine, your sits bone. Feel it through the lower lumbar spine. Feel the vertebrae at the thoracic spine, behind the heart and lungs. Feel the vertebrae in the cervical spine. Begin to stretch. Maybe you take the knees to each side, torso and face to the opposite side. Or you can draw the knees towards the chest, the forehead towards the knees, back into a little ball. Maybe some spinal rounds, some spinal rolls. Or you can bring the soles of your feet together. Massage your hands, rub the hands together, rub the feet together. Or you can come into a happy baby, a figure 4, where the left ankle is on top of the right knee, creating that modified pigeon pose. Keep breathing, stretching. Whatever the body may feel it needs. You might open the hips by drawing the soles of the feet together into the groins, letting the knees fall open. It's a great hip opener. Greatest hip opener in yoga. Slowly, when you feel ready, you can make your way back up to the seated position. Resting the hands in the lap. One palm resting back of the palm inside the other. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Wanyu. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Kurt. Creating yoga community in our virtual space. Breathing together. When we breathe together, even in a virtual space, our heartbeats begin to align. Breathing together, connecting in consciousness. So anybody connecting in our virtual space at a future date, know that you are connecting with us now. Time is relative. Time is a construct of the human condition. So we bring our hands to prayer, setting Anjali Mudra. My thumbs are just resting lightly on my sternum as I lift my heart, bringing my spine into that perfect alignment. We'll close all singing together, Longtime Sun. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. 3 long sat, short nams. Sat nam. Sat We bow to each other and we say Satnam.